Whoa! Sorry. So if I have 0 times b, what does that give me? 0. And if I have a times 0, what does that give me?
0.
0 also. Good. So that's a rule that we're going to rely on a lot in this section. Alright, so let's suppose that I want to solve this quadratic, x squared minus 9x plus 20. Well, I want to solve this thing by factoring, so I'm going to try and factor this into two, factors. Alright, well let's try factors of 20. 5 times 4, that gives me 20, right?
No, yeah, it does, but...
What's 5 plus 4?
Positive 9.
So just make them both negative, and you're going to have it.
Okay, so if I say, how about negative 5 and negative 4, that gives me positive 20, right?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Okay, and that'll give me, when they add together, that'll give me a negative 9.
Oh, look at that.
Winners!
Right.
Look at that, and we could have tried things like 10 times 2. That would have added to 12.
1 and 20?
Yeah. What?
1 and 20?
We could have tried 1 and 20. But that would have given me 21, right? But we know that it must be negative 5 and negative 4 because they added negative 9. So what that means for my factored form then is x minus 5 and x minus 4. Right? Now, if I want to know, well, what does x equal to make that thing 0, does it make sense that either x minus 5 has to be 0 or x minus 4 has to be 0?
Yeah, or both of them.
Or both of them, but so this whole thing will be 0 whenever x minus 5 equals 0, or when x equals 5, right? Or whenever x minus 4 equals 0, or when x equals 4. Alright, factors of negative 12. Do we want to just start with maybe negative 1 and negative 12?
No, because that's not possible.
How about negative 1 and 12?
Alright, you got 11.
Negative 1 and 12, does that multiply to give me a negative 12?
Yeah.
John Colton.
Oh, sorry.
Or John Colton and Jake, sorry. Does that, yeah, that multiplies to give me a negative 12. But when I add them or combine them, I think I get 11. How about negative 12 and 1? Negative 12 times 1 is negative 12, that works. But they combine to give me a negative 11. Let's see, other factors of 12. How about negative 3 and 4? What will that combine to give me?
1.
1. Alright, and let's see, how about negative 4 and 3? That'll combine to give me a negative 1. Uh-oh. Other factors of 12?
6 and 2.
6 and 2. How about then negative 6 times 2?
This one is impossible.
Yeah.
That'll give me negative
4.
4, and then the other way around, negative 2 times 6.
That's 4.
That'll give me, yeah, just 4, right?
How does that work?
So what does that mean?
It's not possible.
It is not factorable. So yeah, this one is not factorable. I checked all my factors, factorable. I checked all my factors, none of them combined to give me 3. This is not factorable, or sometimes we'll also call this prime.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Difference of squares would be something like if I had a squared minus b squared. That would be a difference of squares. I've got a square minus a square. That factors into, and these are something that you might just want to memorize, factors into a plus b times a minus b. Okay? So what this does not factor into, and do not write this, but this does not equal a minus b squared. That is not true at all. Example of this might be something like x squared minus 4. Notice that 4 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, and so this will give me, I think, x times
X plus 4.
x plus 2 times x minus 2.
Why?
A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. we would say that that thing equals a plus b squared. Alright, and then also the other way around, if I had negative, that would be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, and that is a minus b quantity squared. So one example would be like x squared plus 6x plus 9. And this would factor into x plus 3, that whole thing, squared. Or, for instance, x squared minus 4x plus 4, that would equal x minus 2 squared. Now the thing that I like about this one is if you get something like x squared plus 6x plus 9, you should be able to reason your way to x plus 3 squared. I'm going to claim that I can rewrite this as x squared
Plus 0.
minus 10 squared, right?
No.
Yeah, because 10 squared is 100, right? And I think that fits that, what was it, difference of two squares, whatever it was. What does this factor into?
0.
Not 0, right? Remember, if I have a squared minus b squared, that thing factors into what minus what times what minus what? Or what plus what? X minus, I think we don't need to factor that 10 anymore, so x minus 10 and x plus 10?
Yeah, that's where I thought you'd get 0.
Yeah, so we would say the zeros, they are at x equals 4 and x equals negative 3, right? If I plug in a negative 3, that makes the whole thing 0. If I plug in a 4, that makes the whole thing 0. Okay?
Shouldn't that x would it be the opposite
Or
or
negative 4.
Guys, it's opposite.